Hey, what up, everybody? So, you guys want to be warrant officers, huh? Well, let's talk about this, shall we?
Work, earn more pay. Hard work, do it every day. Get up out of 2:45. Ready to go.
A lot of people talk about warrants in general because we tend to stick together. Now, not to get into the whole thing of talking about fraternities, but it almost is like a fraternity. All right. So, the whole thing with us warrants, we are like a brotherhood, sisterhood. We're a cohort. So, definition of cohort is pretty much a group of people. A group of people with a similar liking. As a warrant, we make up 1% of the Army. 1%. So just think about how many people are in the Army. I don't know how many, but let's say 200,000. What's 1% of 200,000? Think about that. Versus there's more privates, 10 times more privates than there are warrants, 10 times more majors. I mean, and obviously as far as how the pyramid, when it goes up, the least amount you have. So just like with full bird colonels, there's not very many of them. They're finite. Generals and so forth. So when you get to senior warrants, let's say CW5, they call them the true unicorn. They're the real true unicorn because you really don't see many of them. Just like in some of the schoolhouses. As of right now, like where I'm at Fort Gordon, this is one of the only times that I'll be around this many warrants at one time. You can be in a battalion, and let's say, for example, you have all your shops, the S1, S2, 3, S6. So just like if you're on the civilian side, you have your HR, you have your IT department, all the different departments. There's most likely on that type of level one warrant in each one of those. The subject matter expert. So think about how many departments you have, and there's just one of that person with that rank. So that's when warrants tend to come together. They call it, it's not like when they had what they call the E4 Mafia, when you had so many E4s, it's like overwhelming. But we tend to come together and take care of one another. So for the most part, we do tend to stick together. Almost like we have no choice because there's only a finite amount of us. So when we're within our signal corps, within our branches, we tend to really take care of each other. But in general, like not throwing anyone under the bus, so it give you a good example. Let's say me as a warrant, I need something from supply. No one can really get it, so I go to the supply warrant, say, hey, is there anything you have that you can hook me up with, or we can take care of each other? Next thing you know, I have it, and they try to figure out, how did I get that? That tends to happen a lot, but that's because there's only a certain amount of us out there. So we tend to take care of each other. Is it like a fraternity? Yes. I mean, fraternities are pretty much in everything. Being in the Army, you're in a type of fraternity, in a organization with like-minded people. So as a warrant, yes. I mean, we all went through warrant officer candidate course. We all went through our warrant officer basic course. So we went through all the rites and passages. I mean, we don't have special handshakes or anything like that, but we do have, the history of where we come from. But just to give you guys an idea of how strong the cohort is, we warrants really take care of each other. It's not like how when you have the regular O grades, it's just different. But I want to keep this one short, get back at you guys, and have a good one.